Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marisa Lauren, the chairperson of DPWH Regional Office 6. Welcome to the Prebid Conference for seven civil works projects, one under the regional office, with contract ID number 24G00144. Preventive maintenance as part of our Bacolod-Murcia-DS Benedicto-San Road. 6 projects under Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. 25G80153, construction of ABC building at Barangay Poblacion, Culasi, Iloilo. 25G80154, construction completion of multipurpose building Barangay Lanjagan, Iloilo. 25G80155, construction of multipurpose building in Barotac, Viejo, Iloilo. 25G80156, construction of concrete road, construction of road Barangay Culasi, Iloilo. 25G80157, rehabilitation of multipurpose building, market at Barangay Poblacion, Barotac, Viejo, Iloilo. And 25G80158, construction of municipal hall building at Barangay Poblacion, Balasan, Iloilo. And we have one goods contract with the contract ID number 24GG047, procurement of supplies, spare parts, and services for the dry docking and repair of multipurpose amphibious dredge with DPWH number K308 Watermaster Classic 4, currently located at Iloilo River, Iloilo City. Okay, so Engineer Catherine Lumanana to lead us in prayer.
Thank you, Engineer Benedicto-San, our back chairperson. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, our Almighty Father, again, thank you for this afternoon that we are still here present for the Prebid Conference for the procurement of goods and infra project of the regional office, and also the procurement of various infra projects of Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Also, as we start this season of Lent tomorrow, may this time be truly fruitful in our lives. May this time be a grace and joy to embrace all that you wish to bestow upon us, our salvation. Bear with us, Lord, in our discussions for the important topics related to this procurement, so that our prospective leaders can fully understand all our requirements. All this we pray in Jesus' holy name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Cathy. So this Prebid Conference is being live streamed to the YouTube channel of DPWH Regional Office 6. May I ask everyone present to please put your cellular phones in silent mode. Again, I would like to call Engineer Lumanana to do the roll call.
Again, thank you, Mama Lu. To determine if the back is in quorum, we shall have a roll call. Please say present or here as your name is called. We have our back chairperson in the person of Engineer Benedicto-San. Our back vice chairperson, Attorney Mary Grace B. Bulaqueña Hatchuela. Our back regular member, Engineer Gladwin D. Ledesma. Our back provisional members, Engineer Ormel G. Santos, Engineer Ricardo R. Gutierrez, Engineer Clint Brian Swarnaba of Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office, and Attorney Marian Haleco for the procurement of goods and services.
Present.
Also present are the members of the back secretariat. Also joining with us this afternoon, the owner-proprietor of GPLC Trading, Mr. Angelito Carriedo. Thank you, sir, for your presence. Also, we have Architect Penelope Garcia of Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Please be informed that observers were duly notified and invited in writing. However, none of them sent their representatives to attend this Prebid Conference of ours this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cathy. So we will call We'll now proceed with the presentation of the details of the contracts.
For contract ID number 24G00144, contract name Preventive Maintenance, Asphalt Overlay, Bacolod-Murcia-DS, Benedicto-San City Road, location Murcia, Negros Occidental, implementing office DPWH Regional Office 6, funding source FY 2024 General Appropriations Act, approved budget for the contract 114,575,000 pesos. Scope of works asphalt overlay of 15 mm. Contract duration 183 calendar days. Major category of works roads rehabilitation asphalt. Similar categories of works roads construction asphalt. Qualifier example qualifier not applicable. List of key personnel. One project manager should have 5 million years of total work experience and 5 million years of experience in similar works, same with 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman. List of key equipment units, 1 applicator machine, 1 asphalt distributor, 1 asphalt paver, 1 cargo truck, 1 milling machine, 1 pneumatic tire roller, 1 power broom, and 1 water truck with pump. Deadlines for submission of clarification, March 8, 2025. Deadline for submission of bids, March 19, 2025. Number of copies of bid proposal, 1 original copy, technical and financial envelope of bid split. Place of submission of bids, bidding room, DPWH Regional Office 6, Fort San Pedro, Iloilo City.
For 25GH015G, construction of ABC building at Barangay Poblacion, Carles, Iloilo. Location, Barangay Poblacion, Carles, Iloilo. Implementing office, DPWH Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Funding source, FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. ABCs 4,950,000 pesos. Scope of work, construction of 2-story multipurpose building. Contract duration is 115 calendar days. For major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. Similar category of works, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame. Buildings industrial plant, low-rise. Buildings industrial plant, high-rise. Buildings industrial plant, medium-rise. For the qualifier, major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. Example of qualifier not applicable. For list of key personnel, 1 project manager, 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman, with a minimum years of total work experience of 5 years and minimum of years of experience in similar works 5 years. For list of key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 generator, and 2 contact vibrator. Please take note of the capacity. For contract ID 25GH0154, construction completion of multipurpose building, Barangay Lanjagan, Ajuy, Iloilo. Location, Barangay Lanjagan, Ajuy, Iloilo. Implementing office, DPWH Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Funding source, FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. ABCs 2,970,000 pesos. Scope of work, completion of 19 meters by 35 meters, multipurpose building. Contract duration is 105 calendar days. For major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame 1 to 5 story. Similar category of works, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame. Buildings industrial plant, low-rise. buildings industrial plant high-rise, and buildings industrial plant medium-rise. For the qualifier, major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. Example of qualifier not applicable. For list of key personnel, 1 project manager, 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman, with a minimum years of total work experience of 5 years and minimum years of experience in similar works 5 years. For list of key equipment units, 1 plate compactor, 1 bagger mixer, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 generator set, 2 concrete vibrator, 1 jackhammer, 1 water truck, and 1 air compressor. Please take note of the capacity. For 25GH0155, construction of multipurpose building in Barotac, Viejo, Iloilo. Location, Barotac, Viejo, Iloilo. Implementing Office, DPWH, Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Funding source, FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. ABCs 14,850,000 pesos. Scope of work, completion of multipurpose building, including facilities. Contract duration, 200 calendar days. For major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. Similar category of works, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame. Buildings industrial plant low-rise. Buildings industrial plant high-rise. And buildings industrial plant medium-rise. For the qualifier, major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 story. Example of qualifier not applicable. For list of key personnel, 1 project manager, 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman, with a minimum years of total work experience of 5 years and minimum years of experience in similar works 5 years. For list of key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 generator set, and 1 concrete vibrator. Please take note of the capacity. For 25GH0156, construction of concrete road, construction of road, Barangay Culasi, Ajuy, Iloilo. Location, Ajuy, Iloilo. Implementing Office, DPWH, Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Funding source, FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. ABCs 4,950,000 pesos. Scope of work, road concreting 0.2 meter thick by 5 meter width, PCCP with drainage. Contract duration is 50 calendar days. For major category of works, roads construction, PCCP. Similar categories of work, road, rehabilitation, PCCP, roads, construction, tunnel, PCCP. For the qualifier, major category of works, roads, construction, PCCP. Example of qualifier must have completed reconstruction and reblocking, including base course, covering 50% of the item of work of the project. May include airport runways, taxiways, and aprons. For list of key personnel, 1 project manager, 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman, with a minimum years of total work experience of 5 years and minimum years of experience in similar works 5 years. For list of key equipment units, 1 backhoe, 1 dump truck, 1 vibratory roller, 1 transit mixer, 1 motorized road grader, 2 concrete vibrator, and 1 water truck. Please take note of the capacity. For contract ID 25GH0157, rehabilitation of multi-purpose building, market, at Barangay Poblacion, Barotac, Viejo, Iloilo. Location, Barangay Poblacion, Barotac, Viejo, Iloilo. Implementing Office, DPWH, Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Funding source FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. ABCs 4,950,000 pesos. Scope of work, construction of two-story multipurpose building. Contract duration is 115 calendar days. For major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 story. Similar categories of works, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame driven piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame driven piles. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame. Buildings industrial plant low-rise. Buildings industrial plant high-rise, and buildings industrial plant medium-rise. For the qualifier, major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame 1 to 5 story. Example of qualifier not applicable. For list of key personnel, 1 project manager, 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman, with a minimum years of total work experience of 5 years and minimum years of experience in similar works 5 years. For list of key equipment units, 1 bar mixer, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 generator, and 2 concrete vibrator. Please take note of the capacity. For 25GH0158, construction of multipurpose municipal hall building at Barangay Poblacion Sur, Balasan, Iloilo. Location, Barangay Poblacion Sur, Balasan, Iloilo. Implementing Office, DPWH, Iloilo 3rd District Engineering Office. Funding source, FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. ABCs 4,950,000 pesos. Scope of work, construction of two-story multipurpose building. Contract duration is 115 calendar days. For major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 story. Similar categories of works, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame cast-in-place piles. Buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame driven piles. Buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame driven piles. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame. Buildings industrial plant low-rise. Buildings industrial plant high-rise, and buildings industrial plant medium-rise. For the qualifier, major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 story. Example of qualifier not applicable. For list of key personnel, 1 project manager, 1 project engineer, 1 project inspector, 1 materials engineer, 1 safety officer, and 1 foreman, with a minimum years of total work experience of 5 years and minimum years of experience in similar works 5 years. For a list of key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 2 welding machine, 1 cutting outfit, 1 generator, and 2 concrete vibrator. Please take note of the capacity. For list of key personnel, for PE2, 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, but with an aggregate cost of 1.5 billion. For PE1, 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 150 million, but with an aggregate cost of 1 billion. For provisional project engineer, 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 100 million, but with an aggregate cost of 500 million. Only accredited project engineers shall be assigned to DPWH projects, subject to the following limits of assignment. For Section 17 of the data sheet, only authorized liaison officers whose name appears on the contractor's registration certificate with the presentation of his or her ID duly issued by its construction firm shall be allowed to purchase and submit or drop bidding documents. Schedules, deadline for submission of clarification, March 8, 2025. Deadline for submission of bids, March 19, 2025. Number of copies of bid proposal, 1 original copy, technical and financial envelope of its bid. Place of submission of bids, Bidding Room, DPWH, Regional Office 6, Port San Pedro, Iloilo City.
For the eligibility requirements, we have SA documents, legal documents, valid PhilJobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, as per GPPB Resolution Number 15, Series of 2021. Technical documents, we have statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules with certificate of acceptance. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Original copy of bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period, or original copy of notarized bill securing declaration and project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreements supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. List of contractors' minimum material testing equipment as per DO11 Series of 2017. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of a joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, the prospective bidder's audited financial statement showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC. For Class B documents or for joint venture, valid joint venture agreement, and if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case of the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Please take note that for manual submission of bids, the technical documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of technical documents are preferably numbered, paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin, and signed below page number by a duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection or non-complying of the bid. For the submission and receipt of bids, so here are the contents of a second envelope or financial proposal. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid, and cash flow by quarter. Please take note that for manual submission of bids, the financial documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of financial documents are preferably numbered, paginated consecutively at the right top margin, and signed below page number by duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of the bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection or non-complying of the bid. So here are the common reasons for rejection of bids, ineligibility, and post-disqualification of bidders. Failure to submit the original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledged equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form, and late submission of bid. We also have failure to submit supporting documents, example, certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project if equipment pledge is to be leased or purchased. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project, or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Unsatisfactory CPES rating. Here are the common errors in the submission of bids. Single proprietor, signatory should be the owner or proprietor only. For corporation or cooperative, the Board of Secretaries certificate and board resolution. For joint venture resolution or agreement. For partnership, as indicated in the Articles of Partnership. For the bid security, the bid validity period is 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. For the bid security validity period, it's 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. So the bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security enumerated below. So we have cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank, bank draft guarantee or irrevocable LC issued by a universal or commercial bank. So the amount of bid security for the mentioned items, not less than percentage of the ABC, is 2%. For surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security is 5%. For the bid evaluation, the financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The bank shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. So here are the following factors to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. So for completeness, no price in required item, non-responsive, indicating a 0 or a dash, free to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. For arithmetical corrections, bid prices and figures versus words, words prevail. For total price per item versus unit price per item, unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items, actual sum prevails. Unit cost and detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ, BOQ prevails. If above ABC, it is disqualified. For post-qualification, verification, validation, and ascertainment of statements made and documents submitted, we have the legal requirements, licenses, certificates, permits, agreements, and exclusion in any blacklist. For technical requirements, we have key personal minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied, availability and commitment of major construction equipment, failure of the prospective bidder to state the complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location, whether owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security as per DO number 58, series of 2012. For technical requirements, performance in ongoing government and private contracts, negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project, or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works and complete ongoing contracts in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of works or unsatisfactory performance per contract per conditions at the term of inspection. DO number 127, series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of the post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with DPWH. Authenticity and correctness of bid security, financial requirements, bid price proposal, and NFCC. So here are the notes on the personal and equipment requirements of the project as per DO number 9, series of 2012, or technical requirements for civil works projects for public bidding. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that one personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded to the contract. And two, he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Also, the bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded in a contract under bidding. These certifications shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected, and if any equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. So for the contract award, the contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid, as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. Contract award should be made within the bid validity period. Subcontracting is not allowed.
GG047, contract name procurement of supplies, parts and services for the dry docking and repair of multi-purpose amphibious dredge with DPWH number K3-08 Watermaster Classic 4, currently located at Iloilo River, Iloilo City. Location DPWH Regional Office 6, Iloilo City. Funding source FY 2024 GAA. Approved budget for the contract is 13,703,880 pesos. Scope of work, vehicle parts and accessories. Contract duration 180 calendar days. For the schedule of requirements, for mobilization, one lump sum dismantling of main hull, side stabilizer floats, side pontons and loading of the dredging equipment for hauling to designated dry docking facility using one unit hydraulic crane for 3 days, one tractor with low bed for 2 days, labor consisting of one foreman for 5 days, one crane operator for 3 days, one heavy equipment operator for 2 days, and 4 common laborers for 5 days. For docking and undocking services, one lump sum dock and undock vessel for inspection and repair. Wharfage fee for 30 days. Connect shore power line to vessel assuming 200 kilowatt-hour. Connect fresh water line to vessel assuming 150 cubic meter. Mooring and unmooring allowing 2 moves. For general services, one lump sum conduct hammer tests on port and starboard side hull and conduct ultrasonic gauging, allowing 15 spots for side platings, 10 spots for main deck platings, and 15 spots for bottom platings. Labor consisting of 1 UTG technician for 3 days and 2 common labor for 3 days. For hull treatment, 1 lump sum scrape barnacles and marine growths from keel to deckline allowing 50 square meters. Labor consisting of 1 foreman for 2 days and 4 common labor for 1 day. 1 lump sum hydroblast to remove mineral, deposit, and contaminants using high power jet at 2,000 psi from keel to deckline. Allow 50 square meters. Labor consisting of 1 operator for 1 day and 4 common labor for 1 day. For hull and main deck replating works, 1 lump sum crop out and renew with deterioration portion of main bottom hull platings using yard supplied materials and allow a total area of approximately 30 square meters using 10 pieces steel plate SAE 4140 heat treated 4 feet by 8 feet by 6.0 millimeters, 5 boxes welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 8 tanks oxygen, contents only, 2 tanks acetylene, contents only, and 10 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 25 days, 2 welders for 25 days, 2 fitters for 15 days, and 4 common labor for 25 days. 1 lump sum, crop out and renew weak and deteriorated portion of port side and starboard side platings using yard supplied materials. Allow a total area of approximately 18 square meters using 8 pieces steel plate SAE 4140 heat treated 4 feet by 8 feet by 5.0 millimeters, 3 boxes welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 8 tanks oxygen, contents only, 2 tanks acetylene, contents only, 6 pieces grinding stone, and 4 pieces mild steel plate 6.0 millimeters by 4 feet by 8 feet. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 20 days, 2 welders for 20 days, 2 fitters for 10 days, and 4 common labor for 20 days. 1 lump sum crop out, renew with deteriorated bottom shelf framing using yard supplied materials. Allow a total of 250 kilograms, approximately 40 lm of angle bars and flat bars, using 250 kilograms of angle bars. 3 8 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches by 20 feet, and flat bars 3 8 inches by 3 inches by 20 feet, 10 pieces grinding stone, 2 boxes welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 4 tanks oxygen, contents only, and 4 tanks acetylene, contents only. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 20 days, 2 welders for 20 days, 2 fitters for 10 days, and 4 common labor for 20 days. 1 lump sum crop out and renew with deteriorated portion of main deck platings using yard supplied materials, and allow a total area of approximately 30 square meters using 10 pieces steel plate SAE 4140 millimeters, 5 boxes welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 8 tanks oxygen, contents only, 8 tanks acetylene, contents only, and 10 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 25 days, 2 welders for 25 days, 2 fitters for 15 days, and 4 common labor for 25 days. For floater replating works, 1 lump sum, replace 2 units stabilizer float assemblies using 2 ASI front stabilizer float assembly PN 7350678. 1 lump sum crop out and renew with deteriorated portion of side pontoon plating starboard and port side using yard supplied materials, and allow a total area of approximately 24 square meters using 8 pieces steel plate SAE 4140 heat treated 4 feet by 8 feet by 5.0 millimeters, 5 boxes welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 8 tanks oxygen, contents only, 8 tanks acetylene, contents only, and 10 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 25 days, 2 welders for 25 days, 2 fitters for 15 days, and 4 common labor for 25 days. 1 lump sum crop out, renew deteriorated side pontoon shelf framing using yard supplied materials. Allow a total of 170 kilograms using 250 kilograms of angle bars, 3 8 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches by 20 feet, 2 pieces grinding stone, 4 boxes welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 4 tanks oxygen, contents only, 1 tank acetylene, contents only, and 4 pieces shell expansion plan. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 20 days, 2 welders for 20 days, 2 fitters for 10 days, and 4 common labor for 20 days. For deck works, 1 lump sum onboard hydraulic pipeline replacement using 6 pieces reducer, 1 inch diameter to 1/2 inch diameter, 10 pieces coupling 1/2 inch diameter, 10 pieces couplings 1 inch diameter, 10 pieces elbows 1/2 inch diameter by 90 degrees, 10 pieces elbows 1 inch in diameter by 90 degrees, 6 pieces T couplings, 1 inch diameter and 6 pieces T couplings, half inch diameter, labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 6 days, 2 hydraulic pipe technician for 6 days, and 2 common labor for 6 days. 1 lump sum crop out renew deteriorated portion of the engine room and doors using yard supplied materials and allow a total area of approximately 11 square meters using 4 pieces steel plate, SAE 4140, 4.0 millimeters by 4 feet by 8 feet, 3 boxes welding rods, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 5 tanks oxygen contents only, 2 tanks acetylene contents only, and 6 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 10 days, 2 welders for 10 days, 2 fitters for 5 days, and 4 common labor for 10 days. 1 lump sum crop out renew deteriorated portion of the main deck railings using yard supply materials and allow a total length of approximately 52 feet using 1 piece tubular steel GI 2 inches by 2 inches by 20 feet, 1 piece tubular steel GI 2 inches by 1 inch by 20 feet, 1 box welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 1 tank oxygen contents only, 1 tank acetylene contents only, and 2 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 10 days, 2 welders for 10 days, 2 fitters for 5 days, and 4 common labor for 10 days. 1 lump sum replace onboard hydraulic steel pipe using 2 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline, 1 and 1/4 inch diameter by 133 inches, with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R, 1 piece hydraulic steel pipeline, 1 inch diameter by 133 inches, with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R, and 1 piece hydraulic steel pipeline 3/4 inch in diameter by 135 inches, with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R, labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 1 day, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 1 day, and 1 common labor for 1 day. For repair or replace discharge pipe, 1 lump sum replacement of pressure gauge at discharge pipe and cutter suction using 3 pieces pressure gauge 400 bar. 1 lump sum replacement base of onboard discharge using 3 sets of base of onboard discharge. 1 lump sum replacement of onboard discharge pipe using 1 piece 8 inches diameter by ½ inches thick by 20 feet with flanges both ends discharge pipe. 1 box welding rod, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 1 tank oxygen contents only, 1 tank acetylene contents only, and 3 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 foreman for 3 days, 1 welder for 2 days, and 2 common labor for 3 days. 1 lump sum replacement of discharge hose holder using 2 pieces discharge hose holder. 1 lump sum replacement of onboard flexible discharge pipe using 1 piece flexible pipe 6 inches in diameter by 7 to 8 inches 8 ply 8 wire, 1 piece flexible pipe 6 inches in diameter by 190 inches 8 ply 8 wire, 1 piece flexible pipe 6 inches in diameter by 180 inches 8 ply 8 wire, 15 pieces clamp 8 inches diameter by 3/4 inches width by 5/16 inches thick stainless steel, and 1 piece adapter. For repair replacement of propulsion unit, 1 lump sum repair replacement of propulsion unit test for proper performance upon completion of work using 1 ASSI steering cylinder ASSI PN 2898205, 1 ASSI leveling cylinder ASSI PN 2898206, 1 piece pin of propeller swing rack PN 76503116, 2 pieces pin bushing of propeller swing rack PN 76503111, 2 pieces bearing plate of propeller swing rack PN 76503115, 1 piece seal propeller motor 2 pieces pin of cylinder propeller leveling PN7650-316, 2 pieces ring of pin leveling cylinder PN7605-133, 1 piece swing rack propeller PN7350-086, 1 piece hydraulic hose half inches in diameter by 3000 millimeters SAE 100 R1 propeller. Motor return PN7350-732, 2 pieces PN7350-730, 4 pieces fitting 3/8" in diameter propeller leveling cylinder PN2906-550, 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8" in diameter by 1050 millimeters SAE 100 propeller, steering PN7651-923, 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8" in diameter by 1300 millimeters SAE 100, propeller steering PN7650-355, 2 pieces fitting 1/4" in diameter propeller steering cylinder PN2559-345, 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8" diameter by 1300 millimeters SAE 100R, propeller leveling PN7650-355, 1 piece zinc anode PN2898-287, 2 pieces zinc anode PN2898-288, and 1 set seal kit steering cylinder PN2914-879, labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 20 days, 2 hydraulic pipe technicians for 15 days, and 2 common laborers for 20 days. For the repair of port side and starboard side front stabilizer cylinders, 1 lump sum repair of 2 units starboard and port side stabilizer cylinders using 4 pieces ball joint bushing with housing, 2 units hydraulic cylinder piston rod, hard chrome PN7301-795, 8 pieces lock ring for ball joint PN2595332, and grease nipple PN2906-790, labor consisting of 1 foreman for 7 days, 1 heavy equipment mechanic for 7 days, and 1 common labor for 8 days. 1 lump sum replaced with front stabilizer hydraulic hoses and steel pipeline using 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4" diameter by 1000 millimeters with fittings on both ends SAE 110R PN8710-207, 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/2" diameter by 2300 millimeters with fittings on both ends SAE 110R PN7350-789, 2 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline 1/2" diameter by 20 inches with fittings on both ends SAE 110R, 2 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline 1/2" diameter by 21 inches with fittings on both ends SAE 110R, and 2 sets seal kit PN2906-790. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 1 day, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 1 day, and 1 common labor for 1 day. For the repair of arm cylinder, 1 lump sum replace arm cylinder hydraulic hoses using 2 pieces hydraulic hose 3/4" diameter by 2150 millimeters with fittings on both ends SAE 100 R12 PN7350-768, 2 pieces hydraulic hose 3/4" diameter by 1/813 millimeters with fittings on both ends SAE 100 R12 PN7350-762, hydraulic steel pipeline 1/2" diameter by 28 inches with fittings on both ends SAE 110R, and 1 set seal kit PN2916-950, labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 3 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 3 days, and 1 common labor for 3 days. 1 lump sum replace pivot pin of arm cylinder using 1 piece pivot pin of arm cylinder 50 millimeters diameter by 180 millimeters PN8833-023, and 1 piece pivot pin of arm cylinder 50 mm diameter by 270 mm PN8833021 for the repair of port side and starboard side spod cylinders. One lump sum will replace starboard and port side spod hydraulic hoses and steel pipeline using 6 pieces hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 150 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7351079. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 1/4 inch diameter by 1760 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R2 PN 7351128. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 1000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7351151. 4 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline, half-inch diameter by 142 inches with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R, and 2 set seal kit, PN 2916947. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 2 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 2 days, and 1 common labor for 2 days. 1 lump sum replace port side chrome cylinder rod using 1-piece cylinder rod spot PN 7351214 for the repair of boom cylinder. 1 lump sum replaced with boom cylinder hydraulic hoses using 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4 inch diameter by 2150 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R12 PN 7350768. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4 inch diameter by 1000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R12 PN 7350768, and 1 set seal kit, PN 2916949. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 1 day, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 1 day, and 1 common labor for 1 day. 1 lump sum replace pivot pin of boom cylinder using 1-piece pivot pin of boom cylinder, 60 millimeters diameter by 168 millimeters, PN 8717014. 1-piece pivot pin of boom cylinder, 60 millimeters diameter by 230 millimeters, PN 8717003, and 1-piece cylinder rod boom, PN 7351226. For the repair of starboard side and port side tilt cylinders, 1 lump sum replaced with tilt hydraulic hoses using 2 pieces hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 570 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7351152. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 1350 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 8714823, and 2 sets seal kit, PN 3329546. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 2 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 2 days, and 1 common labor for 2 days. For the repair of left and right swing cylinders, 1 lump sum replaced with swing cylinder hydraulic hoses using 2 pieces hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 720 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7351147. 1-piece hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 730 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7350957. 1-piece hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 900 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7350956. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, half-inch diameter by 690 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PN 7350765, and 2 sets seal kit, PN 2916472. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 2 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 2 days, and 1 common labor for 2 days. For the repair of bucket cylinder, 1 lump sum repair of bucket cylinder using 4 pieces ball joint bushing with housing as per sample. 8 pieces lock ring for ball joint, PN 2595332, 4 pieces grease nipple, 1 piece cylinder rod, bucket, PN 7351234, and 1 set seal kit, PN 3329546. Labor consisting of 1 foreman for 7 days, 1 heavy equipment mechanic for 7 days, and 2 common labor for 7 days. 1 lump sum replaced with bucket cylinder hydraulic hoses using 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 2,150 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7350768. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 1,430 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7350760. 1 piece hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 630 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7350736, and 1 piece hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 1,160 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7350779. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 3 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 3 days, and 2 common labor for 3 days. 1 lump sum replace pivot pins of bucket cylinder using 1 piece pivot pin of bucket cylinder 60 millimeters diameter by 354 millimeters PN 88333018. 1 piece pivot pin of bucket cylinder 50 millimeter diameter by 110 millimeters PN 88333027. 1 piece pivot pin of bucket cylinder 15 millimeter diameter by 98 millimeters PN 7652879. 1 piece pivot pin of bucket cylinder 50 millimeter diameter by 395 millimeters PN 7651578. 1 piece pivot pin of bucket cylinder PN 7650423, and 1 piece pivot pin of bucket cylinder 50 millimeter diameter by 260 millimeters PN 7652789. 1 lump sum replace entire bucket assembly using 1 AC bucket assembly PN 7250115. For the repair of cutter pump, 1 lump sum repair of cutter pump head AC using 1 piece bearing, dredge pump housing PN 2861308, 1 piece sleeve, dredge pump housing 2 pieces bearing, dredge pump housing PN 7653081, 1 piece intermediate sleeve, 1 piece O-ring PN 2617230, 2 pieces cotter pin, 1 piece O-ring PN 2916965, 1 piece O-ring PN 2916566, 1 piece flow indicator, 1 piece quick coupling, 2 pieces fitting, 1 piece nipple fitting. Labor consisting of 1 foreman for 4 days, 1 heavy equipment mechanic for 4 days, and 2 common labor for 4 days. 1 lump sum replaced with new cutter suction hydraulic hoses and steel pipeline using 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 1 inch diameter by 1,330 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R11 PN 7350764. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 1,300 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7350735. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 1,160 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7350759. 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4-inch diameter by 1,700 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R12 PN 7351146. 1 piece hydraulic hose, 1/4-inch diameter by 520 millimeters with fittings on both ends. SAE 100 R2 PN 8716452. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 350 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R2PN 8708548. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8 inch diameter by 330 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R2PN 7351150. 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 800 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9PN 8708927. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1 inch diameter by 2000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R11PN 7350790. 3 pieces hydraulic hose 3/4 inch diameter by 1950 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R PN 7350792. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/4 inch diameter by 295 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R1 PN 7350793. 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 1000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R PN 8710198. 2 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline 1 1/4 inch diameter by 63 inches with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R. 3 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline 3/4 inch diameter by 104 inches with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R. 3 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline 3/4 inch diameter by 45 inches with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R. 2 pieces hydraulic steel pipeline 1 1/4 inch diameter by 45 inches with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 3 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 3 days, and 2 common labor for 3 days. For the replacement of hydraulic hoses of pilot house and solenoid valve, 1 lump sum replaced with pilot house and solenoid valve hydraulic hoses using 3 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 800 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN 8708927. 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 1000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN 8710198. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8 inches diameter by 1100 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN 8716869. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8 inch diameter by 1170 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN 8716884. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 5000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R PN 7350783. 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 5000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 2800 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 3/8 inch diameter by 250 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R2 PN 7351082. 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 800 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R2 PN 8708927. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8 inch diameter by 6000 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R2 PN 7350787. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8 inch diameter by 2400 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R PN 8716445. 1 piece hydraulic hose 3/8 inches in diameter by 850 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R2 PN 8716927. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 145 mm with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R PN 7350781. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 1000 mm with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R PN 8710198. 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 520 mm with fittings in both ends, SAE 100R2 PN870897. 2 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 750 mm with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN7351098. 4 pieces hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 600 mm with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN7351099, and 1 piece hydraulic hose 1/4 inch diameter by 520 mm with fittings on both ends, SAE 100R9 PN7351099. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 3 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 3 days, and 2 common labor for 3 days. For the engine overhauling and calibration, 1 lump sum disassemble and ship to radiator shop, radiator assembly for proper rehabilitation and assembled back in good order upon completion of work. Includes radiator general overhauling and using 2 pieces upper and lower hoses with clamp, 18 liters coolant, and 1 piece fan valve. 1 lump sum replace engine valve, seat and guide, crankshaft bearing, camshaft bushing, connecting rod bearing, piston ring, and cylinder head. Machine crankshaft to restore proper tolerances. Using 1 set valve seat, 12 pieces valve guide, 1 set crankshaft bearing, 1 set camshaft bushing, 1 set connecting rod bearing, 1 set piston ring, and 1 set cylinder head. Overhauling gasket includes 1 job machining of crankshaft. 1 lump sum conduct engine tune-up. Replace filters using 50 liters engine oil on site, 300 liters hydraulic oil on site, 500 liters fuel on site, 4 pieces hydraulic return filter, 1 piece hydraulic pilot filter, 1 piece hydraulic drain filter, 1 piece hydraulic breather filter, 1 piece engine oil filter, 1 piece engine fuel filter, 1 piece engine water separator, 1 piece air cleaner inner, 1 piece air cleaner outer. Labor consisting of 1 foreman for 10 days, 1 heavy equipment mechanic for 10 days, and 1 common labor for 10 days, includes 1 job engine tune-up and calibration. 1 lump sum replacement of electric fuel pump using 1 unit electric fuel pump, PN7650689. For the repair of centralized automatic lubrication distribution system, 1 lump sum conduct general repair on said unit to put back to its original function using 200 meter copper tubing, 4 millimeter diameter 200 meter flexible hose, 4 mm ID half-inch OD, 10 units distribution valve box type as per sample with fittings, 50 pieces fittings male and female as per sample. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 5 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 5 days, and 1 common labor for 5 days. For operators cabin works, 1 lump sum conduct repair of air conditioning unit of dredge on board and air conditioning unit cover, and ship to air conditioning shop for repair and install back to dredge and test for proper performance after completion of work. Using 1 unit air conditioning unit. 1 lump sum replacement of window washer fluid reservoir and crop out or renew deteriorated cover of window washer fluid reservoir using 1 piece window washer fluid reservoir. 1 lump sum crop out and renew deteriorated portion of driver's cabin using yard supplied materials. Allow a total area of approximately 4 square meters using 2 pieces steel plate, SAE 41404.0 mm by 4 feet by 8 feet, 2 boxes welding rods, Super C2 at 10 kilos per box, 2 tanks oxygen contents only, 2 tanks acetylene contents only, and 4 pieces grinding stone. Labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 3 days, 2 welders for 3 days, 1 fitter for 3 days, and 4 common labor for 3 days. 1 lump sum replacement of dashboard gauges, complete LCD assembly and gauges including installation and programming.
For electrical works, 1 lump sum, check, clean, and test the battery electrical connection and lines. Repair damaged connection lines using 4 pieces battery terminal clamp, 10 meters battery cable, 16 millimeters, 1 piece main current switch, DC, 1 box main current fuse, 58, 24 volts, 1 box preheater fuse, 108 to 24 volts, 3 meters ground cable, number 14, and 2 pieces battery 12V2D, labor consisting of 1 electrician for 5 days and 1 common labor for 5 days. 1 lump sum replacement of busted work lights using 15 pieces marine valve. For the replacement of hydraulic cooler hoses, 1 lump sum replaced with hydraulic cooler hoses using 2 pieces hydraulic hose, 3/4 inch diameter by 1,450 millimeters with fittings in both ends, SAE 100 RP and 7350782, 1 piece hydraulic hose, 1/2 inch diameter by 800 millimeters with fittings in both ends, SAE 100 R9 PM 2902930, 1 piece hydraulic hose, 1/2 inch diameter by 730 mm with fittings in both ends, SAE 100 R9 PM 7350957, 1 piece hydraulic hose, 1/2 inch diameter by 2500 mm with fittings in both ends, SAE 100 R9 PM 7350798, 1 piece hydraulic hose, 1/2 inch diameter by 500 millimeters with fittings on both ends, SAE 100 R9 PM 8 716774, 1 piece hydraulic steel pipeline, 1 and 1/4 inch diameter by 110 inches with fittings on both ends, SAE 110R, labor consisting of 1 supervisor for 3 days, 1 hydraulic mechanic for 3 days, and 1 common labor for 3 days. For the hull prevention works, 1 lump sum paint hull by airless spray using yard supplied paints with the following scheme. First, 1 coat anti-corrosive from keel to deckline, allow 50 square meters. Second, 1 coat anti-fouling from bottom to deckline, allow 50 square meters. Third, 1 coat AC from keel to load line, allow 20 square meters. Fourth, 1 coat AC from load line to deckline, allow 30 square meters using 5 gallons anti-corrosive paint, 3 gallons anti-fouling paint, 2 gallons boot topping paint, 4 gallons epoxy paint green, 3 gallons epoxy paint black, 4 gallons epoxy paint white, 2 gallons epoxy paint yellow, 9 gallons red lead oxide primer, 8 gallons paint thinner, lacquer, 25 pads sandpaper number 120, 25 pads sandpaper number 300, 25 pieces masking tape, and 4 pieces paintbrush 2 inches. Labor consisting of 1 foreman for 20 days, 2 painters for 20 days, 2 common labor for 20 days with rental for compressor with spray gun for 20 days. For performance trial, 1 lump sum, conduct performance trial for at least 4 operating hours. In the presence of Dredge personnel on board, Regional Inspectorate Team, COA and DPWH BOEFED representative upon completion of work. Diesel fuel and lubricating oil and other lubricants must be provided by the contractor. Using 510 liters diesel fuel, 300 liters hydraulic oil, AW68, 25 liters engine oil, 15W-40, 25 tubes grease and LGI number 2, 2 pails multi-purpose grease, and 6 liters gear oil. For demobilization, 1 lump sum reassembly of main hull, side stabilizer floats, side pontons, and loading of the dredging equipment for hauling to designated dredging site using 1 unit hydraulic crane for 3 days, 1 tractor with low bed for 2 days, labor consisting of 1 foreman for 5 days, 1 crane operator for 3 days, 1 heavy equipment operator for 2 days, and 4 common labor for 5 days. For the schedule of requirements, deadline for submission of clarification, March 10, 2025. Deadline for submission of bids, March 19, 2025. Number of copies of bid proposal, 1 original copy, technical and financial envelope of its bid. Place of submission of bids, bidding room, DPWH, Regional Office 6, Fort San Pedro, Iloilo City.
For the eligibility requirements for Class A documents, we have legal documents, registration certificate from SEC, DDI for sole proprietorship, or CDA for cooperatives. Mayor's permit issued by city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, and tax clearance certificate is finally reviewed and approved by the BIR. For technical documents, we have records of single largest completed contracts similar to the contract to be bid, adjusted to current price using Philippine Statistics Authority current price index with a contract amount equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. For the financial documents, we have audited financial statements stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of submission. Computation of NFCC of at least equal to ABC, computed using the prescribed formula. NFCC is equal to current assets minus current liabilities multiplied to the fixed value of 15 minus value of unfinished projects, including awarded projects not yet started, coinciding with a contract to be bid. For the submission and receipt of bids, the contents of the first envelope or technical proposals are GTI Business Name Registration of SEC Registration Certificate or CDA for cooperatives, valid and current mayor's permit or municipal license, statement of ongoing and similar completed government and private contracts 50%, audited financial statements stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the immediately preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission, showing among others the total assets and liabilities. Income tax return of the preceding year filed and paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system. Computing of net financial contracting capacity. Tax clearance for Executive Order Number 398, Series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR. PhilJEPs, bid securing declaration, bid security, technical specifications, production delivery schedule, warranty certificate, brochures of offered equipment, omnibus sworn statement, and secretary certificate and board resolution. Please take note that for manual submission of bids, the technical documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of technical documents are preferably numbered, paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin and signed below page number by a duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection or non-complying of the bid. So for the contents of the second envelope or the financial proposal, we have duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities breakdown, recurring and maintenance costs if applicable. Please take note that for manual submission of bids, the financial documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of financial documents are preferably numbered, paginated consecutively at the right top margin and signed below page number by duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of the bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection or non-complying of the bid. We now come to bid security, so the bid validity period is 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. The bid security validity period is 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. So the bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security enumerated below. So we have cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank, bank draft guarantee or revocable LC issued by a universal or commercial bank. So the amount of bid security, not less than percentage of the ABC of the two mentioned items, is 2%. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. The amount of bid security is 5%. So for the bid evaluation, the financial components of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The BAC shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. So the following are the factors to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. Completeness. No price in required item non-responsive, indicating a 0 or a dash, free to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. For the arithmetical corrections, bid prices and figures versus words, words prevail. Total price per item versus unit price per item, unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items, actual sum prevails. Unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ, BOQ prevails. If above ABC, it is disqualified.
Any clarification, sir? Okay. Okay, so that ends the presentation of the details of the contract subject of our pre-bid this afternoon. So as the BAC has no further business, our Prebid Conference scheduled today, March 3, 4, 2025 is now adjourned.